Welcome to Decker Tech. I'm Aaron Decker, and today we're doing a starting deck guide for Reginald. Reginald has seen a lot of nerfs recently, but he's still a very strong DPS. This is not a healing Reginald guide. This is a I like to kill things with holy beams of light. I was going to say fire, but he's not a fire guy. He's a holy guy, right? So this is, of course, Madness 16. This video is applicable to lower Madness. You'll just have extra shards, and you'll just follow the same theme, and you'll just be able to afford more stuff than I can. I just took the basic divination. I just took the shards from the divinations. You should be able to, of course, grab some actual useful cards from those divinations that I didn't, and be able to kind of spread the love a little better and get a little more than what I got out of this. But this will successfully get you to the end of the game, and let's get into it. So, Reggie, first off, you got to bring these flashes down to 0 cost. A lot of the issues with Reginald is going to be just energy and cards. He can turn energy into cards into damage very fast. So the more we can feed him, the better. This guide is kind of under the impression that you're going to give him at least a little bit of energize and a little bit of energy every round. If not, maybe just throw in a couple extra flashes. But for the most part, try to get Reginald to 10 energy each round. And in this case, what, like 6 cards? 7 cards is what he needs. So maybe 8 energy and 7 cards. That's pretty reasonable to aim for if you have a dedicated battery. Otherwise, the same deck will just work, but it'll just be a little slower to get off the ground. The big thing about Reginald is his passive says at the start of your turn gain 1 bless, which with perks means 2 bless, and bless says more damage, and more damage means more pew pew, and more pew pew means things die faster, right? Okay, so don't mind me being a little silly today. The first thing you're going to need is Powerful. We're going to stack Max Powerful, try to get to Max Bless, and that should be preferably someone on our team is applying Vulnerable to the opponents, but we'll also apply Sanctify. So combine all those factors and you get a formula of maximum damage. So 2 Inner Fires, definitely required early on. I wouldn't mind a third one in the starting, like if I had a Divination for it. I'm not going to be opposed to that. Eventually, you're going to get items that will sustain Powerful for you, or maybe if you have teammates ramping it up for you. You just need to find a way to attain Max Powerful and then maintain it. So right now, Inner Fire is doing that job for us. These will eventually hurt really hard when we have Bless, because currently it's affected by Bless. Grapevine says that might change, but I mean, I don't know what that'll be when the time you watch this video. So we get the Powerful. Upgrade these smites. We're going to 3-cost smites because they have Sanctify. They have the same ratio of Bless to energy when you have perks, but they also have Sanctify, and Sanctify is how we heal ourselves back up after we hurt ourselves with Inner Fire and Fanaticism. Speaking of Fanaticism, this is how we're going to fix our energy woes. If you have more shards, I would recommend upgrading it to the 3 total energy version. It hits you harder, but it gives you more energy, and energy turns into more attacks. More attacks, if they have Sanctify on them, means more healing. It'll work out real nice because the Bless also increases the healing you take. So even if they only have 1 Sanctify on them and you hit them for like 20 and you have like 10 Bless, you healed for 11. You know what I mean? Like the Bless adds really fast. Also, Healing Rain will kind of help this too. I don't have the other 2 Healing Rains in here because one, I actually tend to not add them to Reginald's deck because I normally have another healer with me. If you are the only healer class, even though you're not the healer or whatever for some reason, I would say bring all 3 Healing Rains. But eventually you're going to cut them from your deck anyway. So, I mean, the less you can get away with, the better. It's just a really good card, though, so I can never fault anyone for bringing all 3 Healing Rains to begin with, because Reginald starts with 1 and you can craft 2 more. But like I said, this regen is affected by Bless, so it's just a way to keep yourself healthy. So what do we got? We got flashes down to 0, smites up to 3, add a Holy Storm. If I could afford more shards, I would actually put this to either the Bless version or the Sanctify version. Late game, you're going to definitely want the Sanctify version unless you have the Holy Hammer. But the Bless one kind of ramps up your damage faster. So I like the Sanctify version for if you're ever going against Thorns Corruptors or otherwise need to like keep yourself or your team safe. Holy Storm is a really good way to go. But if you're just looking for raw damage, Holy Storm will ramp you up faster just because of the Bless gains. So if you can afford it, Holy Storm is more powerful. I mean, Bless Storm is more powerful, but Sanctify Storm is is a very safe bet. Divine Grace, this is a card that's nice in the first act or two, but once you start getting like level 3 and you get an on where you get talents that are affected by playing holy spells, I tend to cut it. With recent changes to Reggie, I might try keeping it a little longer, but at the end of the day, it's not a holy spell, and he just likes casting holy spells. Like, everything revolves around holy spells. And it's kind of clunky because you are spending 1 energy on a non-damage attack, like it's not an attack or whatever, right? So at the end of the day, energy into damage is what you want your damage dealer to do. So yes, it's an efficient way to add bless to yourself, but once you're getting to the point that you can get to max bless, or ridiculously high amounts if you don't have a cap on it from restricted power, you're just going to want to spend your energy on damage. So it's a good starting card, but it eventually gets cut. Same with his later talent card, but we'll get to that later. And then these 4 at the top. So on the Madness 16 economy, these are the cards I'm going to go with because they're 0-cost vanish cards, and the clarity kind of replaces itself just with a delayed effect. And like, to be serious, the Insane Dispel is very valid in Act 1. So if Reginald draws a clarity, I'm perfectly happy to just cast clarity on myself, dispel all the insane stacks that the sheet put on me, and then go blasting, and the next turn I'll have a deeper draw, like I'll draw an extra card. So the clarity kind of helps you get through your deck a little faster since we don't have many 0-cost draw cards that we have access to. So clarity is just kind of a delayed version of a 0-cost draw, replace itself, right? And then Dawn Light is just, it's basically a flash. If you have a big enough hand, it's better than a flash. But for the most part, it's kind of a weaker version of flash, but it does vanish, it does cost 0, and I just kind of want to trim my deck down a bit so I can consistently be drawing, like, say if I have near full energy, the ability to smite and storm every turn and then fill in with flashes. Because that's what the Reginald play pattern is you bless yourself, sorry, you buff yourself, you get your powerful, then you bless yourself doing with stuff like Divine Grace, you get your energy with Fanaticism, and then you go blasting with Holy Smites to add Bless and Sanctify, and then Storms to just mow down the enemy team. And then you just use Flashes to kind of finish off the rest of the stragglers, right? So, like I said, if I had more shards, upgrade the Storm, upgrade the Fanaticism. If you're not going to be fed energy and cards by anyone, I'd maybe recommend adding the 2 other 0-cost flashes available to you to craft. Instead of, say, like, maybe cut the Healing Rain, or instead of adding one of these the Clarities or the Dawn Lights. Probably instead of the Dawn Lights, because what you're trying to do if you're not being fed energy is just kind of water down your deck so it's a lower cost overall, right? But ideally, your goal is to try to cast 2 Smites and a Storm every turn. And later down the road, that'll be a lot easier, and we'll throw in some big cost cards. So let's take a look at his talents. I can click on the right pings here. So like I said, he starts with every turn gain bless. We're going to go down this left path here. Divine Retribution. This is an okay card, but the problem is damage by others requires you to not block the attack. So you have to actually take a hit. And on a Reggie turn, I want to put bless on myself before I do my attacks. But Divine Retribution says I'm going to put bless on myself after my attacks. So it's like there's just too much of a delay on when you get the benefits for it. Like, you do get great benefits for it because 4 uses of gain 1 bless, like that 1 bless is 2 bless, right? So 8 bless for 1 energy is great, but it's unreliable and delayed is the issue. So eventually I'll cut that most of the time. It's very playable though, but you'll just find that it'll miss more often than you like. Chastise. Hey, you play a holy spell, you get another holy spell. Fantastic card. It's very beautiful. Holy Crusader. This is the powerhouse here. So this one, with the current version of it, I say current version because there's been like 3 versions of it. For 4 times, every time you cast a holy spell, you'll gain bless. And this is why I say you clear that starting card out, because you just want holy spells, right? And you want to play this as soon in the cycle as possible to stack your bless up to maximum. So your goal is to get Holy Crusader out turn 1 or the first thing in the turn, then do your normal cycle and just get maximum bless. And it's also AoEing down the enemy team and adding Sanctify to the enemy team. So this does all the things you want to do. And with its current version, if you really want to, you can just cast it at the end of your turn and save it for the later turn, because it is just an enchantment that has uses on it. It's not an until end of turn sort of thing. So you can use it, like it slots in very easily, and it's a very powerful card. This is where a lot of your damage comes up, because the getting to max bless as soon as possible is where Reginald damage comes from. And then Reverberation. Current version, again, because Reggie changes a lot, you play holy spells, and holy spells become cheaper, and so you can blast them with bigger holy spells, right? So even as you do your normal play pattern, you would smite, reduce the cost of your storm, get your free smite, cast that, it'll reduce the cost of your smite, and then you'll do your smite and your storm. And then you'll have some extra energy left over to maybe do, like, you could have fit another, like, Holy Storm in. Once you get to level 5, you can have, like, you can afford, like, another Holy Storm, or Radiant Assault is a new card that's pretty powerful at the moment. Just any powerful holy spell you can kind of slot in once you have Reverberation, right? At least in the current form, like I said. But Reggie's just, you know, I cast holy spells. That's what Reggie says. I like holy spells. I cast holy spells. Equipment-wise, some high resist armor is pretty nice, just because you hurt yourself with Inner Fires and Fanaticism. Eventually, maybe in your jewelry slot, you'll have something that auto-applies powerful, so you can cut the Inner Fires. Like the ring from the Fire Boss will apply powerful to yourself, and the Power Coil will apply powerful to yourself. So that's a good way to kind of mitigate the self-damage from Inner Fires. Otherwise, weapons. Oh yes, there's the Holy Hammer. It says when you deal on hit, apply Sanctify. That's probably the best item for him. Behind that is the Chalices. There's a bunch of Chalices that say, you know, +1 Bless perk, or wow, I can't find a word here. Anyway, +1 to your Bless. So that allows you to ramp up your damage faster. It does kind of hit a cap with restricted power, though. But if you don't have restricted power, I say the Grail is probably better than the Hammer. But I play with restricted power, so the Hammer is better than the Grail. Yeah. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them, and I will catch you later. Peace.